Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hayley Osborne Show. I am so glad that you are here listening to this episode of me in your ears, whatever you are doing today. Now, today, I really wanted to come and talk to you about sales, okay? And the real fact that more followers won't make you more sales, but there is something that will. And before we get into it, I want to paint this beautiful picture for you, okay? Because it has to be said. So let's just say that you have a smaller Instagram following. And let's be honest, it is very hard organically to build a social media presence these days. You do have to pay for it, right? So you do have to put money behind advertising and all of that. And it is easy to go, kind of semi-viral with a really good video or whatever it is, but it shouldn't be your objective in your follower count. Okay. And the reason that I'm going to say is because could you imagine? So let's just say you have 100 Instagram followers. Okay. Let's not worry about Facebook or LinkedIn or any other social media platform right now, but you have 100 Instagram followers. You would need to book the biggest room in the cinema to house that many people, okay? If they are all your ideal client, okay? You would need to book the biggest room in the cinema complex to be able to house 100 people that are your ideal clients, okay? Because that is who we want to attract on our social media. If you have, say, 300 or 400 people following you on your social media, you'll need to book out like a theater space to house that many people in real life. Now, if you have 1,000 or 2,000 followers on your social media, you probably need to book out like a small local football stadium. All right, local community football to house that many people. Does that kind of help to put things into perspective for you that your followers just need to be more of your ideal clients, not just more people altogether? Because that will not bring you more sales. Okay. So it doesn't matter the amount of people that will not bring you more sales. Oh my goodness. Now I have to go back a little bit on my audio. Someone came to the front door. Okay, here we go. Oh, let's just backtrack a little bit. Let's keep it real as well, because I'm not going to stop this recording because I'm also human and I do one take. Okay. So if you want to start a podcast, it's time to work with me so I can teach you all the skills on how to not let that be bothered. Let that be a thing that bothers you of getting it really picture perfect. I know it's important, but we need to keep it real. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So more followers will not make you more sales. And so the more people that you have on your social media that are your ideal clients, the better it is for your business. We don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. We just need more of our ideal client. And think of it in real life too. You booking out these spaces in real life. Could you do that? Okay. And is everyone that's following you your target audience? The chances are there's probably a bit of spam in there. You just don't know if you've got an open profile, but you don't need more followers. Okay. So that's the first I wanted to paint that beautiful picture. So that way you kind of have that in your head as we get started. So it's such a massive misconception. The other thing is you need to have a really good think about your customer lifetime value. So a lot of the times that is used as an acronym as CLV, customer lifetime value. So that basically equals the average value of a purchase from your client, whether that's a product or a service, plus the number of times they work with you or purchase from you per year. And that will equal the average lifetime customer relationship of yours and theirs in years. But if that's too confusing, basically what it means is the customer lifetime value is a lot higher to you than it will cost you a lot more to bring in a new client, right? So an existing client is always going to remain an existing client if you serve them well, and will make you a lot more in return than what trying to source a new client will cost you. Okay, so that is your customer lifetime value. Your existing clients are more valuable to you than you trying to source new ones, because not only does that cost you money, but it also costs you time to create content. And so that is why I often say, continue to build your database, okay? Because that is your warm audience. Your socials are your cold audience. However, if you have an ideal following of your ideal client within your social media, that is such a beautiful foundation to get started to continue to build that customer lifetime value and more of it. So, I know that gathering more followers is really irresistible, and that's what a kind of a benchmark that people use, but it's really easy to, I guess, equate a high follower count to success when it's not really the case, right? Having more followers doesn't actually lead to more sales. And for business owners and entrepreneurs like you guys that are listening, it's probably not the case. So I really wanted to come to talk about more followers won't make you more sales. Now, if you think about those two things that I've shared with you already, and now put this next thing into practice, this will make you more sales. So the next few things I want to talk about are important. So firstly, we need to have quality over quantity. Okay. We need to have quality content over the quantity of content. Okay. So if you can post 7 days a week, really quality content, then that's amazing. But if you're just posting for the sake of it and you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, then I encourage you to reassess what it is that you're doing and come up with a better strategy. So, a social media strategy can often help, and that is something that I can help you with. And it's basically like a tailored Bible for you to refer back to of exactly what you need to be doing across your social media to tell a really beautiful story of your brand and your business to attract more of your ideal client. Okay. And how to do that. So I think a social media strategy is really important. And, having a highly engaged audience that is small is far more value than having a very, very large audience that are disengaged. And, you can just smell it when you look at other people's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn accounts, and they have 10,000 followers and they have 30 people liking their posts and stories. Now, that is a disengaged audience. Whereas if you have a couple of hundred followers, for example, and you've got 100 people liking what it is that you are putting out there and your database is building, that is a highly engaged audience. You do not need hundreds of thousands of people to make hundreds and thousands of dollars at all. You just need quality over quantity. And the next thing I want to talk about is building a community. So if the number one reason that you have your social media is just to build your marketing, that's not the only reason why you should have it. Okay. The second and most powerful reason to have a social media following is to build a community and to build trust. So I often say that, your website is like the suit and tie version of your business. Okay. It should articulate all the things about you, how people can work with you, how they can buy from you, and make it really easier in like a bit of a linear path. It is not complicated. If it is complicated, if you find it complicated, chances are most people are going to find the same thing. And then, so that's your suit and tie. And then your social media is like the shorts and t-shirt version of you. Okay. That gives people a little bit more of an into your world, your business, behind the scenes of your business, what makes you tick, why you built it, why you are doing what you're doing, how you help people, how you can educate, like whatever your product or service is, that is the place that exists as your shorts and t-shirt day-to-day version of you, with a little bit of formality added in. But what it is building a sense of community along the way. Okay. So it is building that know, like, and trust with yourself, but also with your community, so that they have somewhere as a go-to, as a source of what it is that you do in your zone of genius and your thought leadership. Okay. When your audience, your followers, feel like they're part of a community, they're more likely to, number one, engage with what it is you're putting out there, your content, and number two, make a purchase. All right. And, this can be achieved so easily and frequently by you interacting with the people that follow you, responding to their comments, making them feel valued, and just continuing the conversation. So by that, I mean responding to their comments in a really meaningful way that may ask a question that's so genuine. And there are so many people I see doing this beautifully and many more doing it poorly. Okay. So genuineness is where it is at. And that is the key to being able to make more sales, 100%. And, trust is such a critical factor today, because humans buy from humans, and it is becoming more and more evident in marketing data and reports that are coming out. And, people are more likely to buy from a brand that they trust, okay, not from a brand that they hardly interact with. So if you think that you are operating in a competitive market, and trust me, we all are, there's 100 coffee shops out there, and I say this a lot, but there's room to coexist for everybody, whether that is location, whether that is community, whether that is good coffee, quality, like whatever it is, everyone is forging their own way in that space. Therefore, there is room to coexist. And I'm going to say the same in your industry. Even though there might be a few people doing what you do, there is room to coexist for everybody if you can build trust. Okay. And when you are authentic to yourself, so going back to your strategy and your content pillars and all of the rest of it, it is such a significant thing to being able to build trust. It plays a huge role in trust building. And, when you have like those authentic, genuine connections across your social media, that is far more likely to build sales than what the opposite will. Okay, if you think it is just a vessel for you to show up and not care, those days are completely gone. You have to work for it. And, I know that social media is one element of the marketing mix, except it is such a powerful element. So, the data says that there is 2.35 billion monthly active users on LinkedIn. On Instagram. I know that there's a lot on LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and I have all the stats for that. But that's the one I remember from the top of my head, because I love to, now these podcast episodes are what I know, and I speak from the heart because this is my zone of genius and I love it. And so imagine if you could capture 1% of that 2.35 billion, that's like 230,000 people. All right. And you've done that in a really genuine way that you care about your audience. If 230,000 people came to you and said, we want to work with you, we want to buy from you, I guarantee you that you do not have the foundation set up, the systems and the process to be able to support such a large number. But this is the numbers that we're dealing with, right? It is so powerful. So another thing that will make you more sales, as opposed to having more followers or trying to get more followers, is utilizing that social proof. Okay. And I'm sure that you've heard this 1,000 times before, but nothing screams you're amazing like someone else saying it, not you. You can say things until the cows come home, but when you have somebody else saying how you have helped them, whether it be through a product or through a service or a beautiful product, how you've changed their world, or it's just, you know, they're really proud when they go out all the time, whatever that looks like, that is social proof. So it comes in the form of testimonials, whether it be written or video. Video is my go-to. It is so powerful, as well as Facebook and Google reviews. So if you can encourage your clients to leave you Facebook and Google reviews, as well as, you know, video or written testimonials, that is social proof. And honestly, as a marketing tool and as a psychological phenomenon, it's where people can really understand the actions of others, and momentum creates momentum. And when someone has something positive to say about your business, it must mean that you are a credible source and worthy to deliver the product or service that you are offering. And more people will trust that, as opposed to you just saying how amazing you are. Okay, so when other people see other people working with you and loving what it is that you do, they're more likely to do the same. And the barrier to entry is so much so much less. And you can really leverage social proof by, you know, customer testimonials, Google reviews. Another one that I haven't said is user-generated content. So, you know, you using things that other users have created in your marketing. Okay. So, you know, those testimonials, they're gold. They are pure gold. And if you haven't started to nurture that as a strategy, I suggest that you start to do that and reach out and ask for reviews, Facebook, Google, your podcast reviews. What other reviews can you get? Just written testimony. It was one thing that I haven't done this for a while actually, but that I did. It was when I reached out to certain clients to ask them for a testimonial. If this was over email and not for a video testimonial, I would pre-write the testimonial for them and say, hey, and laugh at this, but it works. Hey, I would love you to provide me with a video, with a written testimonial. I know how busy you are. I've written it for you below. Can you just proofread this and approve me to use this in any of my content? Okay, because whoever you're asking is usually very busy, and for them to be taken out of their day to think about something nice to write about you is quite hard. So if you can put yourself in their shoes and how you've helped them and come up with something for them to approve, to say, yep, all good, that is the quickest way to get testimonials in written format. Obviously, if you're asking for a Facebook or a Google review, then that's a different story. They need to do that, but that is super powerful. And video, they need to do that too. So more followers won't make you sales, guys, but those things will, okay? And your client lifetime value is far greater. So if you are, for example, releasing a new product, the first place that you need to go to showcase and sell that is your existing clients, because they love you and they want to work with you and they want to buy from you for a reason. You already have converted them as clients, and the chances are that they are more likely to buy from you the more things that you add in your repertoire. I hope this has been a little insightful for your ears. I hope you've loved listening. That is the end of my knowledge in this podcast episode. And I hope to see you next week for another episode of the Hayley Osborne Show.